You got this guy as your third wide receiver, Odell Beckham Jr. Okay. I knew that you would not be surprised to hear me go after you on this one. Now, I've been betting you since, after the Super Bowl pretty much that Mike Thomas was going to be a better pick than this guy. I'm not
Yep.
going at you about Mike Thomas. You actually have them rated out the same, and you only have Thomas at 4 where you have Beckham at 3. So, it's not like I'm going to be scoring too many points on you on that. It's not even like you really disagree with me that much on that particular thing.
And I think that's what's an interesting point. And you haven't even made your point,
I
but
know, but go ahead.
which I'm going to let you obviously go and rip it to shreds. But what that kind of illuminates, Nat, is I think both of them have incredible fantasy upside. They're both 93s on the grading, but you might like floors and consistency, whereas I love the upside. I like the fact that Odell Beckham, we know what we're going to get with Mike Thomas, and it's going to be great, and his ceiling probably is higher than we've even seen so far. But Odell Beckham could just like be a season changer and rip off 2,000 yards and 15 touchdowns, and that's where I side with. Even though they're the same exact grades, I'm going to go with the upside every time. That's just my style.
Right. Well, the guy that's not even the guy I'm going to rip you for. I'm going to
Okay.
I'm going to go at you on one where you're going to kind of be like, "Wow, I had no idea you felt this way." So, you are too high on Odell Beckham Jr. and I'm actually going to hit you with a guy that I would rather have than Odell Beckham Jr. that you have a little ways down the list, and that is Roto Street Journal favorite Tyreek Hill, who you have at wide receiver 8 right now. Okay, I would not be shocked at all if he outscored Odell Beckham. So let me hit you with a couple of issues that I have here.
Wow.
You got Odell Beckham as a 30 to 27 edge on talent. That seems like a real stretch to me, first of all. If you want to max out OBJ on talent, that's fine. Have you seen Tyreek Hill play? I mean, have you seen his skill set? What are you talking about, 27 on talent? Like, who are these guys that are more talented than Tyreek Hill? He's like, I got more too, but I just want to start there. That seems like excessive. 3 points in one of these categories is quite a bit. Tyreek Hill's talent is off the chart, man.
Of course, his talent and what he does is off the chart. He's a complete burner. He's dangerous with the ball in his hands. He gets more separation than anybody in the league last year. The guy's a freak. He's just not yet the complete refined route runner and can just dominate on every single layer of the field quite yet. If he could become, like, he's got the raw potential to be as good as Odell Beckham in terms of every level of the field and running those short intermediate routes to perfection. He's not there, in my opinion. He's not as complete of a receiver as some of these other guys graded out higher than him. And he's a little bit smaller in stature.
True.
Odell Beckham's
Although
not the guy
Odell's
to
not a
compare
big
him,
guy.
but
Odell's
he's,
not he's like 5'10", 5'11".
he's not winning. Even Odell, though, he kind of has the jump ball skills and kind of like those crazy one-hand catches. I don't see Tyreek doing those contested one-on-one situations quite as much.
I agree.
So that's where he grades out just a couple points lower.
I agree, but he doesn't have to. They get about last year, and I know ODB played, I think, in what, 5 games or something. They get about the same number of snaps a game. Hill has substantially higher yards per catch. Odell Beckham gets targeted a couple more times a game, although like this is going to change a lot, I believe. Tyreek's added a really solid wide receiver too to bounce off. His quarterback, who you love, is now an actual deep ball guy, which is what Tyreek Hill is. So I'm a little bit surprised that you're only giving Tyreek Hill a 13 to 12 edge on his team's talent, on outside talent. To me, the Chiefs have more than a 1 point edge as far as like surrounding talent. That seems low to me. Then when you say 23 to 20 edge for OBJ on usage, maybe as far as the targets, I would give him an edge on stuff like that, the jump ball situations. Tyreek Hill also is a legitimate runner. He's a legitimate returner. I don't know. To me, that would maybe bridge the gap there. Maybe not totally, but at least another point or two. I mean, last year, ODB, like I say, was talented. He was targeted maybe 3 more times a game. I have a hard time believing that will go up. Hill seems much more of a deep ball threat than OBJ, or really just about anybody. And I'm wondering why their risk is equal. OBJ had a season ender last year. Why is their risk both 8?
I think a little bit of this is all kind of boiled into the same type of factors in that I think the Chiefs just have such a more stacked cast around Tyreek Hill, particularly with Sammy Watkins at it. I know Watkins last year was kind of a flop with the Rams. He had 8 touchdowns, but under 600 yards. So, and you're not a big Watkins guy, nor am I, because he's just so inconsistent.
No, but I see his value in this offense.
in this offense, and we've seen in the past, I mean, Watkins has had alpha wide receiver one stretches. So I am just a little bit nervous. The amount of money they chucked at him, $45 million or whatever insane amount that was. I think Tyreek Hill's a better player. I think he's a better fantasy product. I think all of that's true about him. But is there a slight chance that Watkins just eats into it enough that it becomes almost like a 1A, 1B? And it's, rather than, I think Odell Beckham's clearly going to be atop that target totem pole no matter what in New York, whereas Watkins, Travis Kelce might be the top target there. I mean, Kareem Hunt is supposedly catching the ball even better out of the backfield this year.
Tyreek Hill had 105 catches last year.
But his targets were very minimal, and that's what I feel good about with Tyreek Hill. I don't think he's going to get less targets than he got last year, and he just did so much damage on him last year that I see him doing pretty much what he did last year. Whereas I just think his upside's a little bit capped because of how much else is around him. Whereas Odell Beckham could emerge as those targets he was getting those target stats. I think those continue. I don't see any reason why those would go down. Whereas Tyreek Hill's kind of capped out at what he is. And to me, that just makes it feel a little bit riskier, a little bit less usage, no matter how talented he is. You know how much I love the guy. He's made he was our moneymaker last year. He's the guy that we went against every expert on, and he panned out for us bigger than anybody else. So I soft spot in my heart forever for Tyreek Hill. It's just more so that offense is so loaded that I see him being more prone to the occasional disappearing act week to week than Odell Beckham, who I think is just going to have a steady bevy of targets every single week.
Let me ask you this, because I'm not even saying 100% I would take Tyreek Hill over OBJ. I'm not.
You'd be insane.
I'm not trying. Well, I don't think I would be, but I think that I'm not trying to be in the OBJ business. So what I'm saying to you is I would rather have Tyreek Hill in the second round than OBJ in the first round. And I believe that the price that you're going to pay for these guys, Tyreek Hill is a far superior value, in my opinion, for the price they're going to. OBJ in the first round scares the piss out of me. Like, I'm not touching the guy. Tyreek Hill in the second round, especially if I've solidified something good with my first pick, that excites me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would love to have potentially both of those guys, even though I'm a workhorse breeder. I love an early down horse, so I'm probably going running back first round anyways. There is that tier of runners, though. It gets a little sketchy where it's like Dalvin Cook off the season ender.
Oh, I'm going to be that's going to be one of my beefs. So we'll be hitting you with that one in round 3.
Oh, interesting. All right, we'll get there. But ultimately, again, it's more so everything around Tyreek Hill. There's just so much talent that, yes, that's take away attention, and he's going to have some of those enormous week winners. But the only other thing, too, is as much as I love Mahomes, and I think he's going to be the breakout quarterback of the year, he isn't a guarantee yet. If he falls flat on his face and the Chiefs look like complete morons for letting Smith go, that would obviously tank Tyreek Hill. So there is a little bit of unknown factor in his quarterback as well, which creates just a little bit more risk. As much as I think Mahomes is going to be a better quarterback than Eli Manning.
Yeah, do you think Eli Manning is like a slam dunk?
No, but you know what he can do. You know he can get the ball to Odell Beckham. And can he do it well? No, he's not great. But at least we know
the guy's getting worse every year. Like,
what's that?
He's getting worse every year. And Pat Mahomes is like maybe Deshaun Watson.
You know how much I love him. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately.
If you're an upside chaser, this Tyreek Hill should excite you. Anyway.
I love him to death. You know this.
Anyway, that's round 1. We'll be right back with round 2 after this.